There we go. Mike, how are you? You are tremendous coach, and I want to thank you so much for coming. I am humble of having you, sir, on this live.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking me, and more importantly, thank you for following my work and believing in me. And I mean, there's a lot of coaches in the world, right? I'm competing versus a lot of people, and all I know how to offer is what my life experiences are, my authenticity to the world, my coaching background. So thank you for believing in me, because there's a lot of people you could believe in.
Well, Mike, I use social media as a recruiting tool, and that's how I have all the coaches. I had one of my coaches, Tim R. Johnson. He's a big real estate guy, and he's a funder, right? He's an investor, but not only that, he's a really big executive coach in the real estate business. Michael C. Lewis, Michael Onhai, and the list goes on. So I surround myself with coaches. And what I do is I search for talent, not an Indeed or anything like that, in social media, because you see them speak today. Years ago, you used to see people write and put images, but that could be a ghostwriter. So I never really paid too much attention. But video, that's tremendous. And you motivate me. I know something as a fact. Enthusiasm carries an organization, and the only way you get enthusiasm, it's through a learning curve.
Yeah.
Right? So what's good about a coach or a consultant is you get what's working in one business and you bring it into my business. So you're with all these businesses around you. That's the value. And you bring something else, which is a life coach. In the automotive space, we're not the most healthiest guys. We smoke, we drink, and you know what? And it's a way of life. And bringing you on here, it's a combination where you're so talented. God bless you. You're so talented because you bring the two worlds that the automotive space needs. And I know you got an event. I'm going to be in Florida. I'm going to do whatever it takes to go to your event with a few of my coaches, because we can learn from you so much. So please share with me, how did you develop to become this guy out there?
Well, I found my voice very early in life. I was very fortunate. At 15 years old, I started coaching junior pro basketball. I loved it. The second I started coaching those kids, I loved it. I knew this is what I was supposed to do with my life. And at 18 years old, I became an elementary basketball coach. But I started studying a guy named Dr. Stephen Covey. And Covey wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He wrote The 8th Habit. He wrote Principle-Centered Leadership. And what he introduced me to was a theory. And the theory was people are made up of 4 parts, called the whole person theory: a body, a mind, a heart, and a spirit. Each of those parts produce different needs, different intelligences, different capacities. That was very critical, because from 18 to 25, I'm studying this one person, and I began to implement this theory with my players. I began trying to help them get physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy. And the next thing you know, that produced what I would go on to call a competitive intelligence. My players were smarter, Richie, than other people's players. They were more connected. They had more buy-in. They had more trust, which equaled more production. And we began winning so many games, people were constantly asking me, what are you doing with those kids? And so I began writing books at 25 about inner engineering people to win. That one book would turn into 16 or 17 books now. But to your point, I'm just now getting into the automotive space, where I'm just now coaching dealerships. I'm just now starting to, and they say the same thing you did. You bring a different flavor to this equation.
Right.
This whole person theory. Listen, for all your people watching us, at some point in your life, you have to make a decision to leave your amateur desires behind and go pro. And that's a decision physically in the body, mentally in the mind, emotionally with the heart, spiritually in the spirit. You have to leave your amateur desires behind. If you are serious about reaching your potential, potential is kinetic energy stored until utilized. Embryonic growth will be better today than we were yesterday. And so for me, since I was 15 years old, I'm 43, for 28 years, I've been coaching people. And what's happened is my conviction has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the enthusiasm you feel from me. That's the what you're really feeling from me is a conviction. And the conviction is, look, with a good coach in your life, a true coach, a real coach, you're going to play at a higher level. That's what I believe.
Well, and I want to bring a point up. Enthusiasm has to do with a learning curve, right? Mm-hmm. Your learning curve is tremendous based on what I've seen, and my team has seen it too. Your enthusiasm is tremendous, and that only is a learning curve. And here is what it is. That's why you're that good, because you're always learning.
Yeah.
And then you bring what works here, there. Now, the automotive space, there's a ton of trainers out there. You go into a dealership, you book 5 days. I got plenty of trainers that do that. And what happens is after they leave, there's no follow-up. Today they have online training, great. But when you tie in a coach, an executive coach, and a life coach, and type in a spiritual coach, all three facets, that's what's going to make you different. And dealers always do this. They don't want their competitors to do something that they don't, because they're in the B2C. Right? So the value that you bring into the table is tremendous. I mean, it's really, really coaching, unbelievable, with energy and enthusiasm, and just having somebody outside of the automotive business that's never been in sales or anything like that, doesn't know, is great, because you have a customer's perception. I have Dr. John, which is my mentor since I'm 24 years old. I work with him in 3 major companies. Okay, we used to have focus groups just to get data and help our people. And why did we want that data? Because it's the consumer's perception. Right? Not the dealer perception. So what you bring to the table is you are a walking focus group. You know, in there coaching them, and that's going to take a dealership to the next level. And with the recovery that's going on right now, it's unbelievable, because they put this process in now, maximize this corona, start fresh. You got a lot of money from the government, put a coach and a trainer, and watch your business increase your ROI so big. And with somebody like you, you're making your people healthy. You're making your people spiritual. You're making your people business people. Wow. It's a 3-pronged thing what you have. I would have to hire 3 coaches and bring those 3 things to the table. So you're multifaceted. You have the energy. So let me ask you a question. You have a company that you do that for a living. Is there maybe some sort of discount or something for the automotive sector? Because it needs a person like you. That's the thing. It's the health. I mean, we're in the car business. You don't have time to eat. You'll swallow a hero the size of me. You gotta take another customer. It's all about selling cars. Okay, that's what it's about. Selling. And when you're done selling the customer, you sell the manager. And when you're done selling the manager, you sell the general manager. And when you're done with that, you sell the office manager. You are selling. No time for you to take care of yourself. So give me your thoughts on that.
We have all kinds of programs. We have different programs for different people, right? We have we do have the online academies that are as low as $99 a month. We have coaching programs that are $299 per month. We have corporate programs where I physically coach everybody. You know, my last contract with a dealership was in Dallas, Texas. Very successful dealership there. And they brought me in, and I work with everybody. I would spend a full day at their dealership. I work with everybody in parts, everybody in service, all the managers, all the salespeople, all the general managers, the owners. They would just bring people in throughout the day, and I would coach them in 40-minute blocks. And we would spend a full day, 6 times a year with them, teaching them these theories and concepts and how to acclimate that body, mind, heart, and spirit, whole person theory, how to activate the prey drive in their people. And, this was almost unheard of for a lot of the dealerships because they're just used to sales tactics, sales coaches. Well, here's what I would say to you, Richie. What good is it to have knowledge? That's the mind. With no desire. That's the heart.
Right.
What good is it to have desire, heart, with no skill? That's the body. What good is it to have skill with no confidence? See, that's the body with the spirit. So when I understand this whole person theory, it helps me to accurately diagnose and prescribe where the problem is. It could be activation of prey drive, PREYDRIVE, which I'm writing a book on called Flip the Switch. It could be they don't know how to explain their services. It could be they don't work a selling system to generate leads. It could be their follow-up, like you mentioned. Right. It could be they don't know how to extract referrals out of their current book of business, or it could be they don't know how to become people of interest. Now, what I come in is I bring a structure. See, a good coach, a lot of people think coaching is asking questions and letting you come to your own conclusions. And you could consider that coaching, although I don't. I'm a pure coach, meaning I've spent 28 years cultivating strategy, tactics, systems, processes. What I do is I bring that structure to you and I go, Richie, this is how we're going to go to the next level. Step 1, we're going to do this. Step 2, we're going to do this. Step 3, we're going to do this. Like, I'm going to be more directive. Okay. And here's the beauty. I've worked with the successful dealerships. I've worked with successful doctors. I've worked with successful entrepreneurs. I spent 4 years in the prison system rehabilitating offenders in the state of Tennessee. I've coached churches. Like, there's virtually no group I haven't coached, from small startups to multi-billion-dollar companies. That gives you a tremendous range of seeing what the best people in the world do, right? Like, I get to not only coach these people, I get to learn from these people. I get to watch these people. I get to observe these people. And if you study mastery, mastery is you watch a master, like you sit at the foot of a master for a period of time. You then practice what you see the master do. Then over years and years of practice with recalibration, with coaching, with feedback, you become a master. And I think I've just had a very long obedience in the same direction. I mean, from 15 to 43, I've done one thing, which is coach people. So I've really learned how to study human nature at the deepest levels, how to connect to people, how to bring in, be intense and positive. A lot of people, when they get intense, they get negative. And what I do is the more intense I get, the more positive I become. I don't believe that adults can handle intense and negativity. Now, here's what I think they can handle. They can't handle critical conversations. They can't handle a challenge. They can't handle pushing. That's what a coach does, right? But the way I push people, I want to reach inside of a person and pull out the best in them, where they go, man, I like playing for that guy. I would work hard for that guy right there.
And you touch on something very important. There's a structure of a corporation, but then the most important thing is the infrastructure.
Yep.
The infrastructure followed up with the structure, then follow up with your process. Mm-hmm. That's key. Okay. I have a very good friend of mine. He also works with me on and off. He's a corporate trainer for the Jim Ellis Group. His name is Brandon Haddison. Very talented speaker, amazing. Okay. Let me tell you something. They got 18 stores. Brandon has taken that dealership. I talk to him every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Because that's the time I get up and that's the time he gets up. Okay. So we always communicate because I need certain things from him and all that. Okay, great. But Brandon is a great coach, but he bringing an executive coach to his organization where he can learn more and grow and grow and grow. That's what it's about. Because when you tap in a trainer like him, he is the Rolls Royce of trainers.
Yep.
That you've ever seen. Process driven. He's an educator. He's a teacher. He's unbelievable. But when you bring coach into that element, your numbers are just going to go up because you're going to take a look at the infrastructure.
Yep.
You're going to take a look at the structure. You're going to
Yep.
take a look at the process,
Mhm.
right? The automotive industry needs you. I'm always developing. In the automotive business, I got in when I was very young, 19 or something.
Yep.
So what I did was I said to myself, I enlisted. So I'm going to be the best of the best. This is not, it's not about the money. This is my life. This
Right.
is what I've done my entire life.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you think a customer's going to go into the showroom and I'm not going to sell them, you got problems because I'm a professional. I've been trained consistently every day. I do training. Okay.
Yep.
Not happening. And that's what you bring to the table where I know what to do in sales and I know how to wrap up a deal. But here's what it is having somebody else look at my infrastructure and my process has unlimited value.
Yep.
My employees, it's unlimited value because now I'm giving them wealth in their health.
Yep.
Because without that health, there's no wealth. There's a case study out there. Automotive industry, more and more people are dying younger from cancer. Why? Because it's bad habits. It's not even smoking. It's eating the
Yep.
wrong things. It's not taking care of yourself. Not sitting down and say, you know what? Let me have lunch. Let me take 45 minutes. Digest it right.
Yep.
You're always pushing and pushing, right?
Yep.
Person like you, such an executive coach, so much talent that you have, life coach, spiritually, mindset, you
Mhm.
know, just the way you look at things brings tremendous value. So I always bring new solutions, or I try to bring new solutions to the automotive sector because that's a business that's very lucrative.
Yep.
And with talent like yourself, that it's about what you said now. It's about your infrastructure. You're
Right.
exactly right. You
Yep.
know, businesses fail for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is funding. Okay. But once you get the funding, what do?
Yep.
Okay. We all know that. No money, no honey. I don't care what
Right.
anybody says. Okay. End
Yep.
of story. So now we have access to funding, right? Like, like one of my partners is a hedge fund guy. Okay. He's got a hedge fund right now with blockchain that's very big. Micheal High. He owns a public company. He's one of my partners. We own Clickable and Look Smart, and we're together. Let me tell you something. We got 2 warehouses in Phoenix. Big
Mm.
data for Google AdWords is what's happening right now. Okay, great. But what happens when you get the funding? Well, when you get the funding, you got to allocate for that business a coach, an executive coach, to make sure that you have the responsibility for your investors
Yep.
that do that. So Michael Ohai is a very good with startup companies.
Okay.
He's not a coach, he's a CFA.
Mm.
Okay. So he's more of an operator, right? That's
Mhm.
what he is. So bringing somebody like yourself to this companies, I mean, we deal with Vistage, right? And we refer a lot of startups. You should sign up with Vistage, right?
Yep.
With you, you bring that and then some. You know, I'm part of the Vistage group,
Okay.
okay? But you know what? It's not the same.
Yep.
It's not what you do is not the same. There's a 3-pronged process. All
Yep.
right. When people feel good about their health, when people feel good about their spirituality, people are gonna create enthusiasm.
Right.
And when people feel good about business, it's a nonstop. You're not, you're only gonna grow and grow and grow and grow. And that's what I see when I started following you 2 years plus ago. I
Wow.
saw you in that conversion bus. That
Yeah.
every morning there was a time we used to do it at 8 o'clock. I made
Yep.
sure I was on. That's when I started following you.
Yep. It's good.
Right then, I said, "Oh, wait a minute." Boom.
Yep.
I found out about you because Dale, right,
Yep.
shared one of your videos. And when I saw it, I went, wait a minute. Boom. 2.5 years ago, you started with that. I says, wow, I better pay attention. And I've seen it spiral into something much, much bigger. than a lot of people could do in 2.5,
Yeah.
2 years and 8 months, maybe
Right. Thank
two
you.
years and 9 months. I was in Phoenix, Arizona at the time when I started following you because I have a institute, a Richie Bello Institute with Michael Onhai. Is a nonprofit for vets. So that's
Yep.
when I started following you, right? Because I know that the vet community needs you. I know the business community needs you. And I know the automotive industry has nobody right now with your talent and your enthusiasm and your energy.
Yep.
And that's why I brought you to the show because it's unbelievable. And talk to us like when you have these stores, what do you do? Is there an assessment form or something like that?
When I coach a company, when I coach a dealership,
Yes, when you coach
yeah,
a dealership.
yeah. Basically, what I do with a dealership is we sit down and we say, where do we want to go? I start everything off with a dominant focus, and a dominant focus is a single tangible outcome we would like to drive in a concentrated period of time. In the sports world, it's a championship. Many people give me a revenue number. A car dealership may give me a number of cars they want to sell, a customer satisfaction number, a retention number, and it's a number. And then I custom design the coaching package around that. Then I come in and bring a structure. Bam, 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 bam. And when we're going through that structure, typically the GM or the manager or the managers go, this is where we're losing money. Right here, right here, and right here. And listen, the structure I bring, it doesn't matter if you're doing $1 billion a year. There's money you're leaving on the table, right? There's money you're leaving on the table. The money could be in how you explain your services. It could be in how you work a system. It could be in how you follow up. It could be an extraction of referral. It could be money. But in almost every scenario, guys, you're losing money somewhere. This is true for the individual salesperson to the dealership, but that's true of every company. So what I bring to the equation is an outside perspective. I also bring a pedigree of being a championship coach. So I really understand how to activate the drive in a person. And I understand how to build like what I call high prey drive environments where there's high expectation. People are producing. They're right. Like it's a great environment people want to work in.
Wow. I have a good friend of mine's Peter Anthony. He's got an online platform and it's a group thing. It's really, really good. And he's a great entrepreneur. He's in Vegas. He's amazing at what he does. He's got all these speakers on there, all these influencers, So he made a comment, great information. Well, why? Because we are all part of this mindset whole thing, the entrepreneurship, right? And we go to this marketing cruise and all that, and we fill it up. So what really, really happens is it's all about how you feel inside. It's about how your spiritual is. And once you start earning because you did the right things,
Yep.
you hire yourself a coach, you hire yourself a trainer, you're open-minded.
Yep.
That's going to turn your business around. But here, you're on the spiral up. When you're on the spiral up, your employees are watching you and they're also on the spiral up.
You sure?
When you're on the spiral down, now you're on the spiral down and you keep spiraling down because you're transferring that energy to your employees. That's the one thing that happens in business. So why not be on the spiral up? So what I always say, great, let's hire the coach.
Yeah.
Who cares if my profit margin is less? I would never have no profit margin because I'm on the spiral down.
Yeah, a good coach, Richie, is people look at this all the wrong way. A good coach brings a quantitative value to the equation, okay, that results in much higher profitability. Now, let me give you an example because I teach this concept of cost versus worth. In 2008, during the recession of 2008, a $2.2 billion bank hired me to be their coach. They wanted to acquire 10,000 new customers. Okay, they wanted to acquire 10,000 new customers in a 1-year cycle. They paid me $150,000 to be their coach for that year. We produced 10,645 new customers in a 1-year cycle with my systems. That was a $2.2 million increase. They gave me $150,000 and they kept 2,100,000, right? 2,050,000. Now you tell me if that was a good investment, right? They put 150 in me, they made 2,050,000. That is what a good coach should do. Is you hire a coach. It's like Alabama hiring Nick Saban. It's like the Bulls bringing in Phil Jackson or the Lakers bringing in Phil Jackson. Like, what is the commercial value of that? Well, when you hire someone who's really good at what they do, that is never an expense. They will come in and help you generate millions of more dollars of new profit because they have a very special skill set in maximizing the talent of every salesperson, every service person. They know how to flip the switch. That's what they've been doing their whole lives. So I think a lot of people look at it wrong. It's like, well, a coach is going to cost me money and I can't get my mind around paying money for a coach. But you're looking at it all wrong. There's
two ways of looking at it. A coach is an investment, not an expense.
Yes.
As a business, you got to spend money in advertising. By the way, I want to make an introduction to Frederick. He is a moving, real quick star in the automotive business that's been 20 years. He runs a very successful company. What I want him to do, and I've said this, is become a dealer principal, an owner, because that guy is going to be an owner.
Yeah.
And he's open to knowledge. And Frederick, I want you to meet the coach. He is tremendous at what he does. I want you to start following him and see what he does. This kid Frederick is unbelievable. He's got his own live show. It's like, the guy is unbelievable. At 11:30, the knowledge he throws out there and possesses, he's a very, very good, and he's going to be a dealer. He's going to be a dealer very soon, okay? Because he's that good. He's dealer quality. Yeah. He should be an operator. Unbelievable. I think he's a partner or a general manager in the store. He is unreal what he does. And those are the guys that are out there that are amazing, that they just really do a lot for me, because I also need a lot of enthusiasm. You know, as what I do, I got to get educated every minute of the day, because if I don't, I lose my game. It's like what you were saying about being pro. If you're a pro ball player, you have to play every day, and you want to play with people that make you look like you don't know what you're doing. If I want to learn basketball, who do I want to play with?
Yeah,
play with. Back in the day, I used to say I want to play with Michael Jordan because that was my era, right? That's who I want to play with. You know, I want to play baseball with Babe Ruth. You know, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
I want to learn, right? When you playing with somebody that you're saying is no good, you need talent, and the more, the better. Okay,
yeah.
So that's what I know ever since I was at a young age. I know that because my brother that's older than me, he was a ball player. He was a basketball player, really good. He always played with top guys, one-on-one hard guys that can beat him hands down. So that way he becomes good.
Right.
And that's what I like, right? To be with guys like yourself that has tremendous knowledge, make me look like I'm in school right now. And I want to learn from those guys, just like I have a lot of coaches that are in my company. You know, they're on retainers because, I mean, Tim R. Johnson, he's got a tremendous course, you know, that I've learned. It says getting SIT done. I don't like cursing. Getting done one-on-one. 2 years ago, he gave me that. I'm executing, you know, boom, boom, boom. And that's what I need. A good CEO is more of a visionary, right? And what Michael C. Lewis did, he showed me delegation. Don't you do it, Richie. Delegate, 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 delegate. I didn't know any of this thing, you know. Right. I didn't know anything, you know. A president has to delegate, has to have people run. And, you know, I might have an idea. Sometimes I sit down with them. They tell me, that's a great idea, Richie, but right now you can't do it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I've concentrated more on operators because they're the ones that bring the revenue in. They're the ones that sit down with me. What happened here? What happened there? What are you doing here? You know? So, and no, don't get involved with this technology, Richie, because it's going to cost too much money before we start turning a profit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I'm going to mention another guy that's amazing too, Stan Scher. He's really good. If he would have a coach, an executive coach, showing him, and he's young, he would be at a different level. Okay, because that's what I've learned in the 6 or 7 years that I regrouped and redid everything. I don't have a problem hiring any coach because I know it's going to bring me up. And I don't have a problem hiring operators either, because operators say, Richie, you know what? You can't get involved in this. What are you, nuts? I would have done it on myself and I would have been out of business.
Right.
If I didn't have Michael Longheider, he's a CFA and he's a hedge fund guy, I would be out of business.
Yep.
Done. Because you have the vision and the enthusiasm, and you start getting involved in stuff that your ROI is going to be long term. And you might not get an ROI in the software business. You just might not do it. Right. So that's what I'm trying to share to all these guys that have startups and that have been in business 8 or 9 years. What's your revenue and why is it like that? Are you getting involved in too much? A lot of people say, Richie, you're involved in a lot of stuff. Yes, I am involved in a lot of stuff, correct. But I have a team that takes care of it. I don't. You understand? That's the difference. And that's because of the coaches I have. And, I always say, Grant Cardone says, the flow to the dough. You can't have one flow to the dough. I've been following that for the last 6 or 7 years. He's right. You can't have one flow to the dough, because if I would have one flow to the dough, I would be right now getting food stamps.
Right.
Okay?
Sure.
If I didn't have my online business, if I didn't have this, if I didn't have that, as long as you have a team that's running that and you have your weekly meetings with your team and you bring in your coaches, that's it. That's all it is.
Yep.
And that's the way it is. And myself, I had a very hard time, 10 years ago, because I didn't have the experience and I still don't have it. And I had a problem. But you know what? At least I tried my best to turn it around, my health wise and all that. And you know what? It helped me in my life. Coaching, it helped me. So I don't recommend anything that I don't do or try it and find out what it is. And you know what? I am glad that I went out of business and I restarted a business 7 years ago, right? I've been out there since 08, 09. Richie Bello brand's been out there. But you know what? I was in bad shape. And I turned my life around, and I also hired coaches, and that's why I know that this process works. Mm-hmm. That's why I know it works, because I did it myself. Mm-hmm. Within 6 years, we got funded, and you know what? If I would have got that funding, and I would have had operators and CFAs in my organization like Michael Longheider, I owe him my life. And if I wouldn't have these operators and executive coaches, I would be out of business. If I wouldn't have Tim R. Johnson at the beginning when I started, I wouldn't exist. And that's why with your techniques and your talent and then your skill, you're born with talent, you refine that into a skill set. Now you know what? You're lethal. You're lethal now. Now that's the guy I want. And it's 3 coaches in one with you. Yeah. So, and that's why I'm saying the automotive industry, please follow Mike, the coach. He's unbelievable, and get him. Brandon, you got to follow him and have a call with him. He's up early too, like me. Set up a call, because that's going to be the next level. Yeah. That's the truth. And that's what I think. I have a lot of respect for you for what you do. And thank God I was able to follow you through Dale. I know when I start following somebody where it comes from. Yeah. Mike, a lot of people know this out there. I'm very dyslexic. Sometimes I don't write right. Sure. I have people that write it for me a lot. I'm very dyslexic. But the one thing that I do know is I have the memory. That's what I got. That's the only thing I learned from my memory, right? Sure. So my memory I know when I follow somebody and why I'm following them. When other people put you on their live stream, that's why I believe in sharing. I'm always sharing and sharing and sharing to give people. You know, a lot of people don't like sharing because they're afraid that, oh, I'm his friend, I'm going to friend him. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care. Share the talent and share it. That's what social media is about. You might be helping somebody. Somebody might be having a bad day, and you made him have a good day.
Yep.
So share it. Don't be scared of sharing. I really share everybody I can, as much as I can, because I could be hitting one of my audience and I could be changing their life around, like Ken Walls. I share him all the time because he's made changes.
Yep.
I mean, and he's helped a lot of my audience. So that's it. Just share. Don't be scared. Who cares if you're friend them? I want you to friend because I want you to learn. I want your business to grow. So the more money you have, the more you're going to spend with me in marketing and in my products. Who cares?
That's right.
You know, that's what I believe in.
I love it. Yeah. Well, man, I think thank you so much for having me today, man. I love you talk about enthusiasm. You got some great enthusiasm, and I'm open. I'm interested in the automotive industry. I think I would bring a fresh perspective. You know, we hear about this word. Your viewers may like this. You hear about this word, deja vu. Deja vu is where we feel like we've experienced something before. We've heard it before, right? Vujade is something I try to bring to the equation, which is a fresh perspective on an old way of thinking.
I've never heard that. Thanks. You just told me something.
Yeah. Vujade is where I bring a whole new twist to the automotive industry, a whole new perspective, a whole person theory, a true coach, a former basketball coach, a person that really thinks differently. I've not been exposed to all the other things that have been in automotive. You know, the GMs that hire me and the owners that hire me for their dealerships are saying, we've heard everybody. We've been through everybody. We've had all the sales training and it's all good. Listen, all those people are great, but we're looking for something deeper, coach. We're looking for something that can truly change our people from the inside out, because we know that the way to build an organization is to build the man. See, that's what Covey taught me, is the way you build an organization is you build the man. You inner engineer the man. And the more you inner engineer the man or the woman, you then have whole people showing up every day on fire for their work. They are distributing their talent at a very high frequency. And that's what I hope to bring to the automotive industry. I think I'm barely even in the door, Richie, just barely in the door. And I think with people like you helping me spread my message, maybe I can bring some of that Vujade to the equation.
Absolutely. I have a blog network, Richie Bello Blogs, and I put a lot of people on there. They give me the content. I put you on it. You send me content every day. I don't care. It gets indexed a lot through Google. I have a lot of blogs there, probably blog 300, 350. It's got a lot of SEO value because it is a blog network. And I only post on there my industry, because with Google changed their ways with private blog networks. So you can't post any other industry. Now, my partner has 2 catering halls for the last 25 years. He's very successful. Bart Pellegrino. He's asked me to put it. I can't, because if I put it, I get in trouble with Google, because Google has a guideline, right? So anything that has to do with training, coaching, anything within the automotive industry is strictly automotive audience that I have. I get a lot of unique visitors and all that, and it's only automotive. And I would love to have a blog on you. For your people to write a blog, and I'll post it every day or every week. It doesn't matter. And it's a blog network. Take a look at it. Richie Bello Blogs with an S.com, and take a look at it. There's a lot of information there about the automotive business and all that. And I take pride in that site, because I invite people on there. I don't charge anything for it. It's just bringing help to the automotive industry. That's it. That's it. Today, that's what I do. I have other businesses that I make great revenue, but let me tell you something. The thing is that I got to help my industry. I have to give back. I'm in love with my industry.
Yeah.
I've been doing it a very long time.
Sure.
You know, passion, when you have the passion, greater than the money. The money will be greater than the passion you've ever had.
That's good. Yeah.
Why not have passion, right?
Sure.
So I'm working on a book with C. Lewis. Me and him are partners on a publishing company.
Okay.
And we've done books for a lot of people. I got it on YouTube. Okay. And we got testimonials. So he's another one that needs your coaching, your expertise, and he's one of my coaches, and we're partners for the last 5 years. I bought into his company with other partners, and he's a very successful publisher, right?
Yeah.
I just got a book about marketing, and I hit bestseller on Amazon. So now what I want to do, the paperback's getting done, and to those that are close to me, to my friends, I'm going to start sending them an email to give them the book on me, and on Micheal Lewis. We made it together because Micheal Lewis has been a bestseller. I think he's got maybe 60 books that are bestsellers because that's what he does,
Right. Yeah.
Brandon himself like that. It's called it's C. Micheal Lewis. So I said, everybody knows I can't write anything. Okay.
Right.
So I'm not going to hire a ghostwriter because they say if Richie wrote it, I got to learn coding because that's the way I write on a text, right? So I just rather make it with him, combined that I have somebody that wrote it, and I gave him the information on video like I'm doing with you, but he's the author, not me. You know what I mean? Because it's not important to me to do that.
Right.
So it's like really crazy. This is the other guy, Lou Ramirez. He's another one that's unbelievable. He had a live yesterday with Frederick. They have a live together. They got so much talent, these two guys. These two guys should be dealers. Forget about it. Hire yourself a coach. Guys, my audience is there. Please hire a coach, and it's done. He's asking, and what? There he goes. He needs somebody like you because he's just going to go to the next level. Hire the talent, and your spiral goes up. When your spiral goes up and your enthusiasm, guess what? That spins off all your employees. And be careful when the spiral's down, because you better hire a coach right away, because increase it and it starts turning around like a tornado. I've seen it so many times in my life in what I've done. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Mike, for you taking your time, such a busy guy like yourself, doing what you do on life, because it creates my enthusiasm. Please tag me. I'm not scared. Everybody tags me. Please tag me in case I miss it. I want to get a notification about you, because I can learn so much from you.
Sure.
And I really respect you so much. And just to let you know, my live show is always at 1 on Wednesdays. We had to do it at 2 because you're such a special guest. I don't know if you would have told me at midnight, I would have done it.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Because you're that special as a guest, and you're that special to me. I'm talking to you from my heart.
Thank you.
I really, really mean it. I'm not a fake guy. You don't see me out there with the smoke shows. I'm not like that. Okay. That's the way I am. I tell you right from my heart, and I say what I feel at any given time. That's the way I am,
Yeah. Man, I appreciate it. I really enjoyed getting to know you today. I'm going to follow up with you because there are things we'll do together, right? There's
absolutely.
And thank you for introducing me to your audience. And more importantly, just thank you for believing in me. I mean, I do put out a lot of content. It does my heart good to know that it affects people and helps people. And I believe in enthusiasm. I believe it's the number one thing I can give my daughter is enthusiasm. Number one thing I can give my people's enthusiasm. And so, man, just thank you for having me today. All the folks that are watching, you got a good dude right here in Richie. You got a real good dude.
Thank you, sir, and have a beautiful day. And I'll shout out to Dale. I know he's not on, but thank you, Dale, for sharing that video. I would have never met you. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless you, Richie. Thank you, bud.
Bye-bye.
See you now.